What's going on, guys? BK here, and I'm making this video today to talk about the Call of Duty Black Ops 3 reveal trailer that released today, April 26, 2015. And basically, I just want to skim through the video right here, and I'm going to put the video in as I'm talking about it because I'm literally skimming it with my mouse just so I can make sure I get all those, fine details and just talk with you about what I see. So right off the bat, obviously some sort of campaign mission going on. There are multiple people standing around. And one thing I noticed right off the bat is there's a robot on the ground, and there's a soldier pointing his gun at this soldier, and he does fire on the robot and kills him while he's down on the ground. I know it's a robot, so he didn't really kill him, but and then obviously some aircraft, which is very popular in the Call of Duty franchise. Next up, you see a guy jump in the back of a truck, and the guy who is standing in the front, I noticed, has what looks like an Atlas A on his glove, but it might be a V. It might stand for something totally different. But I just noticed it looked like that, as well as some sort of like mobile device on his wrist. And on the side of the truck, there is an attached turret that looks to have grenade launcher. Next up, you have a soldier walking with an LMG. And again, that A, it looks like an Atlas on the back on the left side there. It kind of just reminds me of the Atlas, which obviously it's Advanced Warfare that has Atlas, but I just couldn't help but notice the A. And then next up, you see his legs, and it looks like his legs are a robot. Like his joints, are a robot. There's a lot of metal there. His arm looks just like Advanced Warfare. It looks like an exosuit. However, the exosuit's built into his arm. Like his arm is, fake. So it's almost like the evolution of Call of Duty and Advanced Warfare mixing together, which kind of makes me wonder, what are they going to do with Advanced Warfare 2? Because if Black Ops 3 is now doing this, you're not putting on a suit. This is you. That's kind of interesting. But next up, you kind of see a guy flipping a knife a little bit, a girl walking, and then the 4 characters, that's pretty significant. There's been rumors of the campaign expanding upwards of 4 people playing together on it, so that's a significant shot there. And then someone diving in the water after somebody and shooting them. Trying to look at the other weapon. Can't really see it too good. Looks like maybe an energy weapon of some sort. Now, this next part is kind of interesting. You can tell this person's hand is definitely a robot. And it changes into a LMG of some sort. So the question is, at this point, are you a robot playing? Or is the person just got robot arms and legs? So that's kind of an interesting thing to look at. Next up, you see the casting of what looks like a swarm of bees, and they appear to be electronic, and they catch these people on fire. In the next part, you see the next evolution of the slide. It's more of a baseball slide and turn at the same time, which I'm excited about because I feel like they've not really gotten that while you're running hold B to for that motion, whatever it is, depending on which game you're playing, down to where it's very valuable. It's subtle at best. That's pretty exciting to me. Then you see kind of a walker tank, what it looks like a walker tank from Advanced Warfare, except, a little more evolved. This next character, I gotta be honest, it just kind of pissed me off a little bit. It looks like an Assassin's Creed character. Yet again, that same A or V logo on the knee pads, and a sniper rifle on her back. Definitely different weapons for sure. And then next up, this is one thing I've talked about in Call of Duties for a long time. This is the first time I've ever seen it. Limbs are blowing off of these characters. So if you throw a nade, it looks like you're going to have an exploding character where their legs and arms get blown off. I just never thought this franchise would ever go that route, but it looks like they finally have. And then next up, it kind of looks like a robot character, but at the same time, it could just be a unique helmet. Again, kind of that A/V on the knee pad. This next character swings a robot into the wall and then shoots him with one hand, so that's kind of a neat aspect. Again, I'm sure it's campaign related. Now, at this point, I noticed this as well. These other characters, blue characters, like the robots and some of the others, have an N with a star on it. So it's kind of like this A or V, group versus this N star group. I'm not sure. I just happened to notice that on the gear. Then we have a warbird crashing. And it looks like the main character here, I've seen his face a couple times, runs underneath this walker tank kind of thing, shoots it from the bottom to disable it. And then now we see a character shoot a RPG. And this RPG, you just see the smoke. You kind of see the elements around it kind of break up and take the shock. And then, of course, again, the legs and arms being blown off of the characters. And then we have a vehicle of some sort that runs over these characters. Again, notice that character on the left is in all blue. And at one point in time, you can see the N, not in that particular frame, but at one point in time in the video, you can. Now you have someone stepping on the head of a robot. That pistol looks kind of neat. This lighting here, this is really the shot that made me believe that this is next gen only. This silhouette kind of running through this cave that just looks next gen only. And then you kind of have a snow scene here. So we might be dealing with multiple seasons, which is cool. The next part I find very interesting. There's a lot of blood in this scene, a bunch of bodies covered up in bags or looks like maybe sleeping bags. And then we have a AJPI, maybe something like that on those monitors there with buckets and candles. It just looks like things aren't going so well. And then we see what looks like a zombie laying on the ground. I can't really tell what's in the foreground, maybe an arm or a leg, but it looks like a zombie up against the wall. And then it's a close-up shot very quickly of their face, of the zombie's face, what could be a zombie. I mean, it doesn't have to be it necessarily, but that's just what it kind of looks like. And then we just kind of transition into this character kicking a door open. It doesn't really show what's on the other side. I think it just wanted to show the action of the kick. And then we see what a lot of us were really wondering if Activision was going to do. And they have directed Treyarch to initiate wall running in this game. So that's very Titanfall-esque. Even the character putting his arm on the wall, it looks exactly like Titanfall. And you can definitely see the thrusters on their back. And then he jumps off, very similar to Titanfall. Shotguns this guy, a sniper shot there. A double melee, which is pretty interesting. And then this next part, you have to look very closely. But basically, this robot explodes. His, very big explosion. Parts go everywhere. But in the background of the explosion, you can see the character initiate a double jump. They're already in the air, and they double jump. And if you look on their back, you see two blue thrusters before they catch the ledge. So not only is double jump for sure, definitely confirmed in this game, but wall running as well. Very interesting. In this next part, you can kind of just see that the character takes over this drone that's flying in the air, and you kind of have to wonder if that is an ally drone or if that's an enemy drone and they hacked it. But either way, it's pretty neat. That pistol was pretty cool. Kind of shot the guy in the air. Big explosion there. Good physics on the car. And then this part kind of looks like something out of He-Man or something. This character's jumping and is about to slam these two posts into the ground, but they don't show what happens. They do show the four characters again, representing the 4-player campaign, and them running as well. And then a new weapon, which is an actual bow and arrow that explodes just like the crossbow. And then we have this big ball that's chasing down a character and just like it's like it's magnetized to him, and then it just runs up his body, tearing him up. And if you look closely, his arm gets ripped right off. And then more swimming there. You can see 3 characters in the front, another robot, double melee there. And then this part's pretty interesting, but I'm not going to hold my breath too long on this one. I believe it's campaign only. But if you notice this character that's setting off this explosion, the entire ground just kind of buckles and everything responds to its movement. And it looks like it's just going to cave right in. So I would like to see some sort of everything's destructible kind of thing. But I wouldn't bet too much money on that. I would just say this is campaign. And then it fades over to the Roman numeral 3, and then Black Ops 3 shows up with the character. And it shows the date, November 6, 2015. And then it shows a short clip of Zombies, which is just letting us know Zombies is confirmed out of the box. We're going to get it. So that's not really too surprising, being that it's Treyarch. But a lot of us were kind of worried that maybe Sledgehammer was going to be endowed with the Zombies franchise. But this is great news. This was actually a selling point for me. If it didn't have zombies in it, I may not get it. But just to note the details here, it's clear that the zombie is like pulling boards off or knocking away boards. So we might see boarded windows come back. Also to note, he has what looks like a bus driver hat on. Kind of reminded me of Transit there. And then the hat falls off, and you can see in the back of his head, just his flesh is destroyed there. And then his eyes are yellow. You can see a few more zombies in the background. What looks like upwards of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in the background on one frame in particular. And then he faces the camera and lets out a roar. You can see the detail on his face, his cheek especially, and his teeth and his head. Just very detailed there. I really am excited about the new Zombies. And again, the way that the zombies look here is letting me know, or it's convincing me more that this is next gen only. I just don't see zombies of this detail on round 50 working on a PS3 or an Xbox 360, unless, of course, they're downscaling it ridiculously. I really don't care as long as it's not affecting the current gen consoles. So that is pretty much it, guys. We see the pre-order and get beta access, and then the few videos from YouTube for watching the teaser or the Ember film. Which, if you haven't seen the Ember film, it's pretty interesting. Kind of convincing the idea of the replaced arms, replaced legs, and the soldiers being built to be a weapon, not use a weapon, but they become a weapon. So that's kind of a interesting video if you haven't watched it. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. That's my, I guess, short analysis of Black Ops 3. Overall, it does look kind of like an extension of Advanced Warfare. It doesn't appear to be its own kind of franchise. It feels like more of an extension of Advanced Warfare than it does feel or look like an extension of Black Ops 2, at least to me. So, not a bad thing, though. I think a lot of these things look good, especially from a campaign perspective. We're going to be able to play a lot more campaign socially. You know, it's not just, hey, guys, well, I'm not going to play with you tonight. I'm going to play campaign. Like, you can enjoy playing it. Story, I would assume that they're going to have about the same length of it. You know, maybe a good 15 hours, maybe a little less. So that's good. One thing I'm surprised that we haven't seen is any celebrity characters, unless, of course, I just haven't, seen anybody specifically. But overall, guys, this is it. This is the trailer. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed what you've seen from all the details, and I'm pretty much probably going to leave it at this. We might talk more on our podcast around the sticks as more comes out, or if we might get in a deeper discussion about it. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Pretty excited about Call of Duty Black Ops 3 now. Definitely more than I was yesterday, so hope you guys are too. Appreciate you watching. This is BK. We'll catch you guys later.